Yes, we are going to talk about magic. This is chapter number 4, The Two Magicians. So, before I proceed, we'll talk about the author. The author of the story is none other than Satyajit Ray. He was a filmmaker and a storyteller. He has won many international awards and he's also a publisher, illustrator, music composer, and a film critic. Let's start with the chapter now. You can see the few italic lines in the beginning. They are just a brief of what is happening in the story. Surapati Mandal, a famous Bengali magician, is traveling to Lucknow for a big show. Sitting inside the train carriage, Surapati falls into a reverie, remembering the magician who had inspired him. His first teacher had been Tripucharan Malik, a very simple man who had a special trick of making a coin go rolling towards a ring and bringing both of them back to the magician. Read out to find out what happened on his string journey. So, students, there are two main characters, two protagonists in the chapter. One is Surapati Mandal and the other one is Tripucharan Malik. Surapati Mandal is a very famous Bengali magician and now he's exploring the other cities and he's currently traveling to Lucknow and sitting in the train compartment. It's his first show outside Bengal. While sitting in the compartment, he falls into a reverie. Reverie, so students, means state of being lost in thoughts. Means when you are daydreaming. So he was dreaming about and remembering the magicians who had inspired him, and one of them was his teacher, Tripucharan Malik, who was a very simple man and he had a very great trick that was making a coin go rolling towards a ring and bringing both of them back to the magician. So he was remembering about this trick of his teacher while he was sitting in the compartment. He was very eager to perform in Lucknow. Let's start further. Surapati came out of his reverie with a start. The train had just begun to pull out of the station when a man opened the door of his carriage from outside and clambered in. Surapati was about to protest that the seats were reserved, but one look at the man's face made him stop short in amazement. Good God, it was Tripura Babu, Tripucharan Malik. Now, what is happening when Surapati is daydreaming? Suddenly, the train starts, and during this time, a person from outside enters the carriage and opens the door of his compartment. And he was an aged person, so he was unable to climb the compartment. He was facing a lot of difficulty. Clambered over here means facing difficulty while climbing in. So, Surapati wanted to protest that the seats over here in the compartment are reserved and there is no space for you to enter. But when he saw the face of the man, he was shocked. It was no other than Tripura Babu, his teacher, whose name was Tripucharan Malik. Srupati remained speechless. Tripura Babu placed the bundle he was carrying on the bench opposite and sat down. Then he looked at Surapati and smiled, surprised. Surapati swallowed hard. Yes, I'm surprised. In fact, I wasn't sure that you were still alive. Really? Now, what is happening? Surapati wanted to just refuse that person from entering in the compartment, but after seeing his face, he was shocked, and that was noticed by Tripura Babu. He kept his belongings in the compartment and sat down over there, and he just smiled after looking at Surapati and just said a word. Are you surprised to see me? Surapati was just horrified. It was like he has seen a ghost of something. Yes, I am, he replied. And the thing he asked, you are still alive. Now, why is he asking such a question that are you still alive? And Tripura Babu, really? So here comes the next page. Yes, I went to your boarding house soon after I finished college. I found your room locked. The manager told me you had been run over by a car. Now, the actual reason why he was horrified to see Tripura Babu was this only, that after finishing college, he went to visit his teacher to take his blessings, but the manager had informed it. The person who was looking after that place informed him that Tripura Babu had been run over by a car. Means he met with a car accident and he died there. So he was shocked to see Tripura Babu in the train compartment. Surupati had felt disappointed not to have met Tripura Babu, but the feeling did not last long. His mind was too full of dreams of his own future to travel and have shows everywhere, to be a name everyone recognized, to hear applause and praise wherever he went. Now he was a bit disappointed that he could not meet Tripura Babu just because of a little bit confusion, but that feelings was just for a short span of time. He was really excited to perform in Lucknow. That was his first show after all, after outside Bengal. So he was now thinking about his future goals, his success plans, everyone applauding for him, praising him, his name being recognized by everyone. Tripura Babu was staring out of the window, preoccupied. Surupati looked at him closely. He did not seem to have fallen on hard times. His hair had turned grey, his skin sagged, and his eyes had sunk deep into their sockets. However, the look in his eyes was startlingly piercing. In the next paragraph, the focus of Surupati is shifting towards his teacher. He notices that Tripura Babu is looking outside the window and he is a bit worried, and sort of distraction feeling is there on his face. He keenly notices his teacher's face, that maybe he's going out with difficult times, he's facing a lot of hardship in his life, his hairs have turned grey, skin has sagged. This could be because of the old age also, and something, maybe he's facing some financial problems, he's having difficult times in his life. However, his eyes were startlingly piercing. Now, what is the meaning of startlingly piercing? It means extremely sharp, means a gleam was there in his eyes. Let's start with the next part of Tripura Babu turned to Surupati and said, in a mild tone, I have come today only to make a request. My financial condition is not sound. I know a lot of tricks, but I haven't yet learned the trick of making money. I know the only reason for this is my lack of ambition. Now, I do not have the strength to try to make my own living. All I am sure of is that you will help me, even if it means making a sacrifice. Surupati was noticing Tripura Babu, but while this noticing, Tripura Babu started speaking out in a mild tone, means very softly he was speaking out. He was trying to make a request from Surupati. He spoke out his heart that his financial condition is not good. Means he was not having sufficient money to survive in this world. I know a lot of tricks. He says he has learned magic tricks, many magic tricks, but he has not learned the art of earning money. How to utilize the tricks, how to utilize his skills to earn money, he doesn't know that art. I know the only reason for this is my lack of ambition. And what he blames this for? Why was he not able to earn money? This was because he was not ambitious. Ambitious over here means he was not having any aim in the life. Now, I do not have the strength to try to make my own living. He is old, so he cannot work, or nobody is going to give work to an old person also. All I am sure is of that you will help me, even if it means making a sacrifice. Now, the last line is making Surupati a bit confused, that how can Surupati help his teacher? Surupati was puzzled. what kind of help did the man want? Now he is confused that how can I help? He seems. Let's discover on the next slide what help Tripura Babu wants. Tripura Babu went on. You see, it is not just money that I want. I want to perform on a stage before a large audience. I want to show them my best trick. This may be the first and the last time, but I cannot put the thoughts out of my mind. Now, his request to Surupati was not just of making money. He wanted to perform in front of large audience just to show them that he is talented. He wanted to show in front of a huge crowd his best trick. He also says that this may be the first and the last time he's getting this opportunity, but he does not want to lose it. He can't get the thoughts out of his mind of not letting perform on a stage. Surupati waited with bated breath. Tripura Babu finally came to the point. You are going to perform in Lucknow, aren't you? So Surupati was just waiting that what his teacher is trying to say. He's still confused that what his teacher wants from him. Finally he comes to the point that, are you going to perform in Lucknow? He asked a question. Suppose you fall ill at last moment. Suppose someone else takes your place. Now he's making the points clear with a bit of few questions. First, are you going to perform in Lucknow? And that was yes. The answer to this question was yes. Suppose you fall ill at the last moment. Now he's creating a story that if he falls ill, then what was going to happen? Suppose someone else takes your place. Now who's that someone going to be? He's just trying to make Surupati aware that he wants to perform instead of him in front of the huge crowd in Lucknow. Surupati was completely taken aback. It was his first chance that he was going to perform outside Bengal, and his teacher is asking for such a huge sacrifice. What on earth was Tripura Babu saying? Now he just questioned himself that what is this man saying? He really must be desperate, or he wouldn't have come up with such a bizarre proposal. Now, lastly, he says, I think this is just desperation. He just wants to perform in front of this race. That's why he has come with such an unusual proposal. This is not good. You all know. Let's move to the next page. Tripura Babu continued. All you need to do is tell people you cannot perform due to an unavoidable reason, but that your place will be taken by a guru. Would people be heartbroken? I don't think so. I do believe they'd enjoy my show. I propose you take half of the proceeds of the first evening. I would be quite happy with the rest. Now, in the proposal, he adds few points. He says that people won't even bother whether you perform or I am going to perform. Just give them a reason that because of unavoidable circumstances I am unable to perform, and in place of me my guru is going to perform, right? So if a student is good, definitely the teacher must have taught him good magic tricks. Other than this, he says, don't worry, I'm going to give you half of the proceeds of the show. Means whatever money he will be earning during that evening, during the performance time, he'll give half of the amount to Surupati. I would be quite happy with the rest. He's just keeping all his points and he's thinking that Surupati will agree to this. After that, you can go your own way. I will never disturb you again. But you must give me this opportunity, Surupati, just this once. Later he adds that this is the first and the last time I'm asking you to do this. After this, you'll go your way and I'll go mine. I won't be disturbing you. This is the just once I'm asking you to do this. Impossible. Surupati grew angry. You don't know what you are saying. This is the first time I'm going to perform outside Bengal. Can't you see how much this show means to me? Do you really expect me to begin my new career with a lie? Now, Surupati is just not agreeing to this proposal, nor he can even think of not performing. He's so excited. First time after all he's performing outside Bengal, as I've said before also. So he completely rejects this proposal and gets angry that I can't start my career with a lie. This is a new beginning for me. Tripura Babu gave him a level look. Then his voice cut across the railway carriage, rising clearly above all the noise. Are you still interested in that old trick with the coin and ring? Now, when he notices that Surupati is not going to agree so easily, he tries to bribe him. He says, did you remember my old trick of coin and ring, which was introduced to us in the beginning also, when the coin rolled back to the ring and then back to the magician? And if I don't, Surupati started, but the look in Tripura Babu's eyes did not change. He smiled faintly. If you accept my proposal, I will teach you the trick. If you don't, and there are dots. So he's trying to threaten as well as give bribe to Surupati. Bribe is that he'll teach him the trick of the coin and the ring, while the threat is yet not disclosed. And if I don't, Surupati asks softly. Surupati tries to know that if he doesn't agrees to this proposal, which he really doesn't want to, then what was going to happen? He will regret it. If I happen to be present among the audience, I do have the power to cause any magician, a lot of embarrassment. I can even make him completely helpless. Now, what threat is he going to give? He says that he can sit in the audience and make him feel embarrassed in front of such a loud crowd. And he can make him completely helpless. He has the power. He knows such kind of tricks through which he could do that. Saying this, Tripura Babu took out a pack of cards from his pocket. Can you take this knave from the back and bring it forward to rest on this 3 of clubs in just one movement of your hand? Now he says that please pick out a knave from the back of the cards and just arrange them according to his saying. I hope everybody knows what is a knave. If not, then you can see in the picture over here. This is a knave card, J card in the pack of 52 cards. Okay, let's proceed further. So now Surupati is trying to do the same thing what his teacher is asking him. Surupati took the pack of 52 cards and realized that his fingers were turning numb. Soon his whole arm felt paralyzed. In a daze, he looked at Tripura Babu. His mouth was twisted in a queer smile and his eyes started straight into Surupati's. The look in them was almost inhuman. Little beads of perspiration broke out on Surupati's forehead. His whole body began to tremble. Now, what is happening with Surupati? That seemed to be a very easy task, but what is actually happening? Surupati his arms are becoming paralyzed. Paralyzed is when there is no movement. You can't move. You become incapable of moving, right? So he was turning numb, and he was shocked at what is actually happening with him. He really got nervous. You could even see the beads of perspiration, means जिसको हम हिंदी में पसीना कहते हैं. Do you now believe in my power? Now this was all done by Tripura Babu to show that he has the power to make any magician feel embarrassed. If this could have happened in front of the stage, then Surupati's career would have just not began. It would have ended over there. The pack of cards fell from Surupati's hand. Tripura Babu picked it up neatly and said, "Will you now agree to my proposal?" Now he again asked the same question. "Are you going to agree to my proposal? Can I perform instead of you?" Surupati began to feel a little better. The numbness was passing. "Will you really teach me that old trick?" he asked wearily. Tripura Babu said, "Your guru, Mr. Tripucharan Malik, shall perform in your place in Lucknow because of your sudden illness. Is that right?" Now, Surupati is asking one question. Okay, means he's now agreeing to the proposal that yes, you can perform instead of me, but he's not actually said a yes to that. So, he asked that, "Will you teach me that trick?" Tripura Babu, instead of answering this, he puts up another question. "Is it fine that I'm going to perform in Lucknow in because of your sudden illness?" He finally says yes. "You will give me half of your earnings that evening, right?" Yes, and he says that evening whatever will be the earnings, we'll share half of it. Both of them agree to it. Well then, Surupati fished out a 50 paisa coin from his pocket and took off his coral ring. Wordlessly, he handed them over to Tripura Babu. Now what is happening? All the deal is final. You can see the coral ring over here and a 50 paisa coin. So Surupati takes them out from his pocket and hands it over to Tripura Babu. This finishes the first part. Let's continue with the second part now. When the train stopped at Burdwan, Anil, Surupati's assistant, appeared with a cup of tea and found his boss fast asleep. Now, I think you are all getting what is happening actually. Surupati in the beginning was daydreaming. Whatever we had done in the first part was just a dream of Surupati's. His teacher was actually dead, as informed to us that he died in a car accident. And when the train stopped at Burdwan, Anil, Surupati's assistant, came to wake him up as he was fast asleep. "Sir," said Anil hesitantly. Surupati woke instantly. "Where is Tripura Babu?" "Tripura Babu?" Anil sounded perplexed. "Oh, no. He was run over, wasn't he? Way back in 1951. But where is my coral ring?" "It is on your finger." Now, actually, the things are becoming clear over here. When Anil woke Surupati, his first question was, "Where is Tripura Babu?" But Tripura Babu, he suddenly comes out from his reverie that Tripura Babu had actually been dead way back in 1951, and whatever he was just imagining was just a dream of his. And then he asked, "Where is my coral ring?" Anil replies that it's on your finger. Nothing had gone, everything was all fine. Surupati put his hand in his pocket and took out a coin. Anil noticed that his employer's hands were trembling. "Anil," Surupati called, "come here, now watch this." Now he's showing the same trick he has learned from his teacher to Anil, that coral ring and the coin. And Anil was holding a teacup in his hand. Surupati placed the ring at one end of the bench and the coin at the other. He turned his stare fully on the coin, just as he had been taught a few minutes ago. The coin began rolling towards the ring, and then both coins and ring rolled back to Surupati like a couple of obedient children. Now, he just had learned this trick from his teacher. It's just a dream. He had already learned it before. He was just remembering that, and he shows the same trick to his assistant Anil. And Anil is completely shocked. Anil would have dropped the cup and broken if Surupati had not stretched out a hand at the last moment and caught it in the midair, as you had seen in the previous page picture, that how Anil had dropped and Surupati had caught that. Surupati began his show. Now this train compartment moment is ended. We have moved to the actual show. Surupati began his show in Lucknow. by paying tribute to his late guru, Tripucharan Malik. Now, whatever he performed in that show was just a tribute to his late guru, that is Tripura Babu, or we can call Tripucharan Malik. The last item he presented that evening was introduced as true Indian magic, and that was nothing but the trick of the coin and the ring. So, this was all in the lesson, dear kids. I hope this lesson is all clear to you. So, let's have a recap of the same. In the beginning, we have been made aware about Surpati and Tripucharan Malik. They meet in a railway compartment, in a train compartment instead. Tripura Babu keeps his financial condition, he keeps his points in front of Surupati that he wasn't able to earn money because of lack of ambitions, and he asked for helps from Surupati. Then what happened? What kind of help did the man want? Who can answer this? Yes, absolutely correct. He wanted to perform in place of Surupati, and that was just a bizarre proposal. Bizarre means unusual proposal. He rejected the proposal. Who's he over here? Surupati refused to the proposal because he could not let an opportunity, a new beginning of his career, go just like this. But was this actually going to work out? His simple rejection? No. He was warned that he would regret, and Tripura Babu showed his power by making him numb, paralyzed, and ultimately he had to agree to what his teacher was asking for. In return, he was promised that he will teach him the trick of the coin and the coral ring, and that was done also. This was all just a dream. When Anil woke him up, he realized that he was just daydreaming. Surupati showed Anil the trick. This is what happened towards the end, and that trick was shown as the last item named the true Indian magic when Surupati was performing in Lucknow. So this was a complete gist of the chapter. I hope it's clear. Thank you, everyone.